Okay, welcome back. Quake 4, level 14. Deathless on Corporal, the normal difficulty. And very briefly, would you believe that we are now over 100 subscribers? How about that? It's just a little hobby channel, and I am humbled. Thank you for humbling me. So let's go ahead. We're wrapping up the Strog medical facilities. Action getting tougher, game getting tougher. We're still kind of figuring out the weapons a little bit. I was rewatching the last vid I uploaded, which was Strog Medical Facility. And the part where Matthew Kane is getting strogified. I was talking about like how it would make for a really awesome amusement park ride. How did I pass up that opportunity to make fun of what I consider to be the stupidest attraction at Universal Studios, Jimmy Fallon's Race Through New York? Like, they got rid of Backdraft, which was actually a pretty, or maybe it was Twister Ride It Out, one or the other. They got rid of a pretty cool attraction. Both of those attractions were cool for that stupid Jimmy Fallon. By the way, they should really get rid of that ride. Apparently, the news has gotten out that Jimmy Fallon is something of a drunk, and that he is
This is Command HQ to all units. The full retreat has been ordered. All squads are to meet at the waste facility for immediate evac. Alright, Marines, haul ass.
Oh, we're getting in the Mech.
And this is one flight we don't want to miss. Roger that.
Alright, so this should be the last vehicle section, thank goodness. But nevertheless, so we have a flashlight. How do we switch weapons? Okay. Okay. Control much more intuitive. Than the hover tank. Strafing is a little tricky, unless I'm walking over something. Okay, yeah, you kind of have to stop walking forward and then... Yeah, strafing is awkward. Sorry, we'll figure this out. But yeah, Jimmy Fallon's Race Through New York. It turns out Jimmy Fallon, and this happened,
This is Eagle 17, preparing to make a strafing run.
the news came out during this Writers Guild strike, which the news seems to be that it's fairly resolved. And as I've stated before in the hover tank level, the Mech, it's a good idea. The execution is good, but not great. But but this is nowhere near as good as the Mantis from Halo 4. If you've ever seen footage of Jimmy Fallon's race through New York, it is not good. Very stock, very bland, very vanilla. And I admit, I was kind of shocked when they announced that they were making that ride. Because, for one, it's always a bad idea to attach a singular attach like a person's name to a ride, because that person gets in trouble, then the whole ride is lost. You have to rebrand it or rename it or whatever. And that seems to be the case with Jimmy Fallon now that he's gotten in trouble being belligerent with his staff and drinking problem. And it's weird because it reminds me a little bit of what happened with Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen's show was extremely popular for years and years, and then she decided during a Actors Guild strike or Writers Guild strike, I can't remember, but she decided that she was going to try to do her show without the union. And my understanding is, if you do that, there's no hope for you. They will throw you to the wolves. That's what they did with Ellen. You know, they rumored that she was absolutely horrible behind the scenes. Same thing with Jimmy Fallon now. It's been remarked upon for some time that late night talk show hosts like Fallon, Kimmel, Myers, it's a stale format that no one really pays attention to anymore, which I very much agree with. Jimmy Fallon always struck me as very bad. I've been watching Saturday Night Live, or I used to watch Saturday Night Live, and probably stopped in about 2013, 2014. Loved it in, 97, 98. He had all those great comedians. Norm Macdonald, Chris Kattan, Jim Brewer, Anna Gasteyer, Sherry O'Terry. Jimmy Fallon, I never liked. I always thought he was terrible. You know, there was talented in the early 2000s. There were talented cast members. I really liked Horatio Sands. I thought he was funny. In my opinion, the most talented member of Saturday Night Live in the early 2000s was Rachel Dratch. Just extremely funny. Had a really funny face. She also did a lot of funny characters too. I think probably the most underrated performer of the early 2000s cast, but Jimmy Fallon was absolutely dreadful.
Walker Squad Bison, you are directed to take up a defensive position in your current location. HQ, there's a shitload of screws on our tails. I copy that, Bison, but you're covering the retreat of 4 infantry squads. Understood. Bison Squad, full hold and deploy weapons. We're behind the evac of Tom. Eagle 2, Eagle 9, this is Eagle 12. Form up on me. Let's see if we can't offer Bison Squad some assistance. Roger that.
So if there was ever an attraction that needed to be gone, it is most definitely Jimmy Kimmel's Race Through New York City. Just a terrible idea, poor execution, unfunny. The only interesting thing about that is that the line cue. It's a boss battle. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Oh yeah, but like I was saying, the only interesting thing about it is that in the line queue there's Conan O'Brien. There's a small exhibit for Conan O'Brien where his suit is. From the very brief year and a half that he hosted The Tonight Show before Jay Leno took it back over. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and save here. Alright, that was the last of the vehicle levels. Thank goodness it's over. Glad to be done with it. We'll oversave Construction Zone. Okay, and next time we get back, it'll be back to boots on the ground action. And thank you again for the new subs. We'll see you next time.